Today, let's talk more about this upcoming week with Richard Johnson. He is in Lancaster, England. He's a lecturer in U.S. politics and international relations at Lancaster University. Welcome back to our program, Richard. We appreciate it. We've got Obama on the trail, Oprah on the trail for Democrats. Never has a midterm election generated so much interest. What is fueling it, in your opinion? Mr. Trump and his fury and the devotion of his base, or those who strongly dislike him? As we just heard one Democrat there in that story, she said what's different now is we really know who Donald Trump is.
Well, this is, if we look at tracking polls since the early 80s, when they asked the question, does the president factor into your midterm election vote? We see the highest proportion of people say, yes, it does. We've seen an uptick both from those who say, yes, it's because I want to vote against the president. That's at a record high. And we've seen an uptick among those who say, yes, I want to vote in this midterm election to support my president. That's also higher, although not at record levels. And so I think that obviously the person of Donald Trump is clearly motivating people to vote in this election. And I think issues like the Kavanaugh confirmation, I think for both sides of the American political spectrum, showed what is at stake in an election and how one or two Senate seats can make such a difference in determining the long-term outcomes of the country.
And he's doing rally after rally, talking more with the media right now before Tuesday. And he's staying on message at his rallies. He says a blue wave will be a crime wave, a caravan of migrants. It's like an invasion, he said. But he walked back something, Richard, that he said about migrants on Friday. First, let's listen to what he said Thursday and how he amended his statement Friday. Here it is.
They want to throw rocks at our military fights back. We're going to consider it, and I told them, consider it a rifle. When they throw rocks like they did at the Mexico military and police, I say, consider it a rifle. They do that with us, they're going to be arrested, there's going to be problems. I didn't say shoot. I didn't say shoot. But they do that with us, they're going to be arrested for a long time.
Missteps like that one right there, so close to the election. Will those kind of statements hurt him for anyone who might be on the fence?
Well, I think the thing about midterm elections is that they are base elections and they're about motivating your committed supporters to come out to vote. At every midterm election, fewer than 1 in 2 Americans do vote in the midterms. And so Trump's strategy from the start has always been to motivate his core supporters. He was very effective at that in the Republican primaries and effective enough to win the presidency. And so rhetoric like this, 71% of Republicans say that they're concerned about immigration. 40% of Republicans cite national security as one of their 1 or 2 top issues in this election. And so he's very much communicating to his supporters. And so even if, from an outside perspective, this might be reckless language, he's talking to a different audience, and he's talking to an audience of core supporters for whom I don't think that they will even see this as a misstep, to be perfectly honest.
Correct in that. I want to ask you, if Democrats take the House, what would that mean to the Trump presidency?
Well, it'll make the president's policy initiatives very difficult. This has not been as productive a Congress as we've seen when parties have had unified control of the House, Senate, and presidency, which is quite rare. And, the president did get through this very dramatic tax cut. But it's been weaker on other policy initiatives, notably his attempts to repeal the Obama healthcare law. But any prospect of being able to do that if the Democrats take the House will be gone. Of course, if the Democrats don't take the Senate, then the president still can make an impact through his appointments, including, of course, if a Supreme Court vacancy came up, but all sorts of lower courts and executive office appointments that he'll continue to be able to make if the Democrats can't get that second prize, which would be the Senate.
So much riding on this midterm election, and we will certainly talk with you again. Thank you for bringing us your analysis and insights. We appreciate it. Richard Johnson, thanks.
Thank you.